All right, what's up, everybody? So a lot of people ask me about mobile setup and what I take with me when I go on the road, so that I can do my podcast, so I can do all the video stuff that I do, and all the other work. So I actually have my mobile setup here, and I wanted to walk you through all the stuff that I've got in it, and maybe give you some ideas on what you can put into your kit. So let's take a look. Okay, so the first thing we look at is the case. This is a Pelican Air. The actual model number is the 1615, and I got this for a couple of reasons. Number one is it's a lot lighter than the regular Pelican case, but still has all the durability, all the strength. It's just their newest model, and so it cuts down on weight if, say, you're flying somewhere. One of the things you want to make sure of is that you're under that 50-pound weight limit or as much as possible. I have a tough time staying under that weight limit, but it just is another way to reduce the overall weight of your carry. The second reason I have this is because the 1615 is the largest dimensions that you can have for any piece of luggage that you can still take on an airplane without being charged an overage. So if it was any bigger than this, and Pelican makes ones a lot bigger, you would automatically have to pay an overage of probably like $50 or $100. So I get under that and avoid that by using this particular case. Now, let's open it up, take a look at what's inside. Now, I've done a couple of things here, and I'll put links for all this stuff so you can go find it as well. But the first thing I did was I bought a little thing that screws into the top of this, top of the lid, that lets me put all of my cables and all that stuff in there. It really is super convenient. And then the second thing that I did, I'll show you all this stuff in just a minute, but there's actually a lining that goes around this whole thing and some stuffing at the bottom, some foam at the bottom to protect all of your gear. And then I just took this piece of foam that came with it and I just lay it over the top so that I can kind of protect everything all at once. So first, I'm gonna run through this one at a time. So this is my Countryman. Let me grab it here. It's a problem with not having somebody else to do this. So the Countryman here is just my headset. It's a wireless headset. Some of you all may have seen me using this. It is such good quality. The sound is so nice that if I'm recording anything, sometimes just having this on my head is nicer. So that's it's the Countryman H6 is the name of this particular headset, and about $400, I think. It's expensive, but it was worth it. Now we have this light here. This is the first light. This is a bicolor light made by Newer, and this is super cheap. It runs off either plug-in power or a couple of batteries, and I'll show you the batteries here in a minute. And the reason I have this one is because it has some barn doors. So if I need to control some light, this is going to be helpful because I can kind of bend these barn doors to kind of put the light where I want it to go. I actually use this just as a backup or as like a fill light, something that maybe I shoot on a background or something just to get the light the way I want it. But that's that. Next, we got my microphone. This is my trusty tried and true microphone. I use it everywhere for all of my voiceover stuff, for all the like recorded videos that I do for the trainings. This is the Audio Technica. It's the AT2020. This is the USB version. They actually make an XLR version as well, and it runs about $120 worth every penny. I actually own about 4 of these because every time I go out of town, I was constantly forgetting it, and so I'd go buy another one. Really easy to find. This is just there's just some cords, some cables in here. So just my earbuds. These are actually nice. These are the Shure 215s. And these are those in-ear that you see all the musicians wearing. This is the cheapest version that they make. I will tell you, I bought the really expensive ones, like the 415s or whatever. For what I use them for, you can't tell a difference. If you're a musician, then maybe you would want some more expensive ones if you're listening to music, but mine's just for hearing audio, so we don't need anything more than that. Okay, that's the cable for that. And then I got a little stand here. This is the stand that the microphone goes on. I have no idea where I got this. It was actually a kind of a selfie stick that just has a tripod on it. And I've had it for years. It works really well. All right, this is where I get my audio. So this comes with me. This is the Mix Pre 6. You can actually get a Mix Pre 3 if you don't need more channels, but I kind of have a lot of stuff going on, so the Mix Pre 6 works great, and it goes, it's super compact, great audio and sound, Wonderful tool. This is nice. The length of this is the perfect length to put in a stand, a tripod stand. So this is going to be for a light or, whatever. You know what a tripod is. Let's see. This is my microphone that I'm going to use for my podcast. This is the podcast microphone. This is the Shure SM7B. By hands down, the best microphone, as far as I'm concerned, in its category at the roughly $350. So really, really great. Very durable microphone in studios and broadcast studios around the world. And this is the base plate for it. Moving right along. This is a little stand. I don't know, there's a million of these, but this is the one I got that you set your iPad on. So when I'm doing the show or whatever, I'll set my iPad down and put your iPad on there. And it's kind of nice just to have it sitting there. This is a little stand. You get these free. This one's made by Shure. And what I use this for actually is I put it down here and then I put this on top of it. So it just raises it off the table a little bit, makes it easier for me to see. So when I'm traveling, I use this little Shure stand to mount my Mix Pre on. That way I can see the controls. Okay, little cable. Over here, let's get in the box. This is my video box. Okay, and this is kind of what everybody's probably wanting to see. So again, HDMI cables. Okay, we've got, this is the HDMI converter. So when you're using video and you're bringing in a camera source, you need an HDMI in that will convert this signal so it can be picked up by your computer. I've used a lot of these. This is an expensive one, but it always works with everything. And some of the cheaper ones I found don't work as well, and sometimes they don't work at all. So this is the best one. If you guys have another one that's a lot cheaper that you're like, I've used 1,000 of these, I've used them on everything, and then it's a significantly cheaper, because I think this is like $250. But a great, great tool for converting, and it goes to USB 3, which is this cable here, and it just plugs right into your computer. Okay, this is a power cable for my camera, and then the camera that I use, great camera. This is the Sony RX. Let me see. I'm gonna screw it up. The RX 100 Mark 7. This is and the reason I got this one is because two reasons. First and foremost is it has a flip-up screen. Okay, so I can actually see myself if I'm doing my little selfie thing. And the second reason that I got this is because the facial recognition on this camera is better than anything else I've ever seen. Sony's facial recognition software is incredible. And one of the things I hate is in the middle of recording yourself or doing something or setting the camera up is that the camera will lose focus and it decides to pull focus on something other than your face. And so Sony's is good enough that you don't have to worry about that, even under really, really low apertures. So if you want that nice bokeh effect in the background where the background is blurry, one of the drawbacks to that is if the camera doesn't have good facial recognition, is it'll constantly be focusing on something other than your face, and it is jarring to the eye. So just keep that in mind. Sony has fantastic, fantastic facial recognition. These are, I own several different lapel microphones, but this is my favorite one. It's the Sennheiser GW100 G3s. I've had these a long time, and they just work great. So, and the reason I have these, of course, is because I have this headset. So if I'm gonna record anything, I gotta patch it through that. Okay, and it's real easy because it just plugs right into the Mix Pre 6 as well. So it all kind of goes together. All right, now, for the camera, I got a couple of different options. I have a table, like a table mount, which is something that looks like this. Okay. So feet just kind of fold out. And this will go up about, I think about 3 feet or so, something like that. Oh, I just fell down. All right. This will go up like 3 feet. But it's really nice because I can stick it on a desk or on a coffee table if I want to record something, and I can mount the camera right on top. It works really well. And then we have an actual, I got this tripod because it collapses down so small, but this thing will go to like 10 feet or something. It expands way out. It's very lightweight. So it's, and that's nice because it's the lightweight cuts down on the amount of weight, of course, that you're carrying when you go on the road. And I'm looking for the name of this one here so I can tell you what it is. This one is called the Siri Traveler 7C. So if you're interested, check that out. Really, really, really nice one. And this over here, this one is called, I don't know what it's called. There it is. It's called the Ander TP148. And the base plate is something different too. You'll see it when you go to buy it. Like, do you want the base plate too? You can pick that up. Let's see. This awesome power supply. This thing will recharge your computer like 3 times. So when I go on the road, one of the things I hate is running out of juice. And so this battery pack works so well. I can plug in multiple things to it. So in a pinch, if I don't have electricity or if there's something else is going on and I really need to get some work done, I can always power my computer and my devices using this thing. And this is made by, who is this made by? There it is. It's the Power Oak, and it's the K2 is the name of it. All right. Then I have this little guy right here. This is the pocket light. I love this because this is an RGB light. So it not only does like tungsten and also daylight, but it'll do purple, green, red, blue. And this has a magnet in the back of it. So I can just stick it to stuff and it'll kind of stay there. So if I wanted to let's say I wanted to shoot some mood lighting, right? I wanted there to be a nice little green glow or purple glow or something like that. I can turn this on and it'll help light a room. Gives a little nice aesthetic. It can also be used in a pinch for a light for your face, but it is a pretty harsh light. So without any diffusion, you're gonna look rough. But in a pinch, it's better than no lighting. Then last but not least is my primary light, which is this one. This is the Falcon. It's made by a company called Falcon Eyes. And it's the SO28TD. I have the one in my studio in Los Angeles has 2 of the 48 TDs, which are just a little bit bigger. Only difference is they're bigger. And this does both tungsten and daylight. You can dial it in. But the nice thing about this is it kind of has built-in diffusion, because instead of having, like for example on these, how you can see all the LED lights and they're like shining right on they'd be shining right at you. Instead, these have LEDs that run all the way around the outside, but they point in rather than out at you. And so it's actually, they're shooting across at each other, and this nice little diffusion panel here on the front cuts down on that harshness on your face. So this is a really awesome travel light, and I use this primarily as my main light. And as I said before, the other one's a backup light over there. And so, but this is everything that I need. In the top here, I've got some batteries. So look right here. Okay, sorry, can't see it. Got some batteries. These are just like your standard, I don't even know what you call these. These are made by Newer. Newer makes great stuff, really cheap. But these are just like batteries that'll go on the back of here, just in case I'm not close to a plug. And I use them for, there's a ton of other stuff that you can use them for too, but I got a couple of those. Here's a couple of cables in this box. There's nothing worth pulling out. This is cables for the lights, and this is like extra HDMI cables and stuff like that, just in case we need them. And then these are just the chargers for the lights. So I can charge for the batteries, so I can charge the batteries up. But that's it, guys. That's the whole setup. That's everything that I use and that I take with me. And you can run an entire show. You can run all of your video production, audio production, everything off of this and running into a laptop computer. So really cool setup. So if you got other stuff, you got things that you use that are really cool, let me know, because I'd love to hear about it, and hope this helps.